we even do not advertise this kind of side effect when students naturally lose weight. When we progress with their breathing, we slow down their breathing, improve their body oxygen content, we measure it by the CP test. And what happens naturally, and I've seen it in every student who get his or her CP higher, like we do work, we practice breathing exercise, physical lifestyle, that we notice that we start to eat less, we have less hunger, and we have much more energy to do exercise.
Okay.
And that allows them to lose weight kind of naturally without even paying attention often. And we not, like sometimes weeks later we say, oh, we lost like 3 kilograms, 5 kilograms, depends.
Yeah.
And
they don't even change a lot of their eating habits, or? In
the past we did not kind of emphasize, because like let's say 3, 5, 7, 10 years ago when teaching my students, we did not. I would address diet during later classes like 3, 4, and 5. These days we can also address it early, depending on the person, because if people have more serious conditions, and they can need serious dietary changes, then of course just with diet alone people can also lose weight, and that would be low carb or ketogenic diet would be of course very good option, because last 10 years so much medical research, and on YouTube it's amazing, like literally hundreds of not only testimonials, but a lot of doctors, professors, nutritionists around the world who talk about their experience with low-carb diet for losing weight. But here we can do it, and we did it again, like all my students who had problems with extra weight, and we started breathing retraining, so we started to change the autonomic unconscious breathing pattern. We naturally lose weight gradually. And what happens later, if we are maintaining this level of the breath, so that the breathing relays slow, light, of course during sleep, daytime, all the time, and we have enough oxygen, let's say 30 seconds, or best students would be 50, 60 seconds. We keep the same weight, so that means we don't gain weight like after 3, 5 years, whatever time, because the purpose of the method, of the technique should be, of course, to keep low weight for a long period of time. And in your experience, what do you say that your students also, when they improve the CP, slow down?
Generally, there is the big shift in. They seem to do. Of course, they have more energy to do sports, for example, and then they often are more. They are more careful about what they eat, but it comes very naturally. Like they don't do a certain diet often, especially at the beginning, but still I think, especially people who are overweight, they almost everybody lost a lot of weight after a while when he or she was successful in the method, of course. In relation to the CP test, especially the CP in the morning, we explain what CP is. There are other videos, you look below. There's the descriptions what the CP is, but and in myself, I lost. I don't know the exact number, but I think around 10 kilograms or 20 pounds. And still, it doesn't matter. Sometimes I was more than 1 year on ketogenic diet, but at the moment, for example, I restarted to eat some carbs, but still I do not gain any weight. So it's very stable since a few years. So it's a nice side effect.
Exactly.
Maybe we should advertise it more. Like.
It's very known, because weight loss is probably one of the most difficult area in internet marketing, because there are so many products, so many people, and people make good money. But here it happens totally naturally, regardless of course what health conditions people have, because originally, of course, I actually do not remember anybody, maybe one person I had in my life who was severely overweight, but generally people come with diabetes, cancer, heart disease, asthma, and all these conditions, and of course most of them are overweight already from the start. So during talk lecture I kind of discuss what we teach. Actually there is 2 rules which Dr. Buteyko suggested in relation to diet, and these are kind of natural ideas such as eat when you're really hungry. So don't eat like by time, like 8 o'clock in the morning, now I need to eat, or whatever, like lunchtime, supper time. That's one idea which he taught to his doctors. home heat training. And idea number 2, stopping time. Stopping time means as soon as you get first signs of satiety, it's good to stop eating, because otherwise it actually causes devastating effects on breath if people overeat like small amounts of food even, especially if it's high calorie or high protein food. So it makes the breathing much heavier, and we notice the negative effect of it. Another effect which you already actually a little bit mentioned, that the taste of people, what we like to eat, changes quite a lot if we think like somebody who starts with CP 10, 15, 20
That's
seconds.
true.
People who are sick, we have naturally very strong tendency, sometimes even like an addiction, to eat junk food, like potato chips, pizza, like pasta, and many other things, which sweets things as well. And so it's but the same person, when he or she gets, let's say, I think probably around 30 seconds for the morning CP, and especially 50-60 seconds when people actually often start to enjoy eating raw food. Very commonly happens. But already at 30 seconds CP, we are kind of much more intelligent in terms of like what we like to eat naturally.
Yeah.
That's a nice effect. And this effect I read actually a long time ago, even in Soviet Russian literature, where doctors described that we noticed this effect even in children. So like a child with CP 5-10 seconds, which I've seen a lot, probably up to half children have very low CPs. They like cheesecakes, all this sweet stuff, and cookies and like chocolate stuff together mixed with a lot of sugar and other things. And when the same child gets CP 50-60, and for children it's often much faster and easier to achieve, the same child naturally would start to open the same fridge, which I often describe. And if there is a choice of different foods, so with CP like 5-10 seconds, the child would take like sweet stuff with sugar and other things. And later, when the same child gets CP 60, would take like a carrot or tomato or like something natural.